Hello, and thank you for joining me, Shanny Leigh, for my next travel yoga video. I am in the beautiful Bahamas. Although I'm actually not here for vacation, I'm here with an organization called All Hands and Hearts, doing disaster relief work after Dorian. But in my break, I wanted to show the other side of the work that I'm doing, which is this beautiful, beautiful scenery. And so today, the work that I've been doing has been, it's hard, right? There's a lot of hard manual labor, and I've been 2 weeks into it now, and so this flow will focus on self-compassion and strength, right? So self-compassion of knowing when to take time for yourself, knowing when to validate your own feelings and what you're going through, and then also to work on strength physically so that we remember that we have the strength to face whatever challenges may arise in our life. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you on the mat. So we'll get started here in Sukhasana, easy seat, cross-legged. It doesn't matter which foot is in front. So I invite you to find your way there. Maybe you close your eyes. Maybe you start to come to the breath. Maybe you start to draw attention to maybe the sounds that are going on around you. If you're outside, what do you hear? If you're inside, right now I hear some dogs barking, birds calling, the sound of the breeze and the trees, and the sound of the ocean waves. Minus the dogs barking, it's pretty peaceful. So let's just take 2 more rounds of breath here to center ourselves. And while we do, I invite you to start thinking about some ways you can be a little more compassionate to yourself. Last round of breath. And exhale, let it out. If your eyes are closed, I invite you to gently start to flutter them open. Maybe you smile. And on your next inhale, arms reach up into the sky. Nice big stretch. And let your right hand grab your left wrist and lean it over towards the right. So by self-compassion, I mean we'll be focusing on opening up the chest and the heart center space and working on some strength moves. We'll take 1 more round of breath here, nice lat stretch. And the next inhale brings you up, switch your grip and take it to the other side. Breathing into this, using the power of your lungs to open up your chest and your lats. Let's do 1 more round of breath here. And then inhale, bring it up. And exhale, bring your hands out nice and wide in a T. Really pull the shoulders back, over exaggerate, and you're going to give yourself a little hug. Exhale, crossing left over right. Inhale, open it back up. And exhale, cross it. Just once more each side. Inhale. Bringing in some self-compassion. Inhale to open. Drawing the shoulder blades back and together. And exhale to close. Give yourself a little hug. Inhale, open it up, and exhale, let your hands come down to the mat. Take a second here if you need to work out anything else in the shoulders and the arms. And then start to find center. Inhale, arms reach up again, and we'll take it to tabletop pose. Exhale, rolling right on over. If you need to adjust on your mat like I do. Coming into Vinyasa, hands underneath your shoulders. Knees underneath your hips. Take a second here if you need to wiggle something out. 1 more round of breath, and then opening up the spine to prepare us to open our heart center. On the inhale, drop your belly and shine your chest, shine your heart forward. Maybe you gaze up. And exhale, tuck everything in as you push into all 10 fingers to arch your upper back, cat pose. Twice more. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, arch the back. The last time, inhale, Vicariously, cow pose. Exhale, Marjariasana, cat pose. Bring it back to center, one more round of breath here. And if you want, we'll be moving into child's pose, so you can open your knees, or you can keep them close together. Exhale, sit it back. Stretching the arms out nice and long. And again, trying to breathe into your upper back. Maybe you think of being a loved child here. Or like sometimes when I'm going through something, I think of how would I speak to a child or a friend going through something similar? And am I speaking to myself that way? One more round of breath. Exhale, let it out. And then inhale, come back up into tabletop. Start to tuck your toes. And we'll lift it right up into downward facing dog. Exhale as you lift your hips and start to push them towards the back of the mat. Maybe you need it out here. And even though you probably feel this in the calves, also focus on how it's opening up the shoulders and the chest. Nice full body stretch. One more round of breath here. And exhale, if you're moving, start to find stillness. Ground down in the left hand. Inhale, draw your right hand in underneath. Reach across and underneath and grab your left leg. Maybe you find a deep twist. Again, opening up our heart space so we can invite some self-love into our practice today. Exhale, bring it back, and we'll take it to the other side. Weight in your right hand, the left arm reaches underneath and across towards the right leg. Open it up. Let's do one more round of breath here. And take it back, downward facing dog. One more big inhale, invite some self-love in. And one big exhale, ground down in the left foot. Inhale, right leg lifts up into the sky. And let's open up the hip, bend the knee, scorpion like your dog. I once heard that sadness or depression is carried in the hips. And I think it's easy to get down on ourselves when we're not feeling too much self-love. So let's break into some of that energy. One more round of breath here. And we'll step our foot all the way through between our hands. Exhale, drop the back knee and rise up into low lunge. Really sinking down here. You can be more stacked, or you can really dip into the hip flexor. You can even interlace your fingers behind your head. Maybe you continue to open up the chest. Maybe here to say something positive about yourself. Let's do one more round of breath. And then inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, take them to the mat. Left hand stays. Now open the right arm to the sky. Finding a twist, really feeling your shoulder blades pulling back in together. If you feel your bottom shoulder rolling in, imagine that you're opening a jar, turning it back out. One more round of breath here. And then exhale, both hands come back to the mat. Shine your chest forward on an inhale. We'll take it back to downward facing dog and exhale. Lift the back knee and exhale, bring the hips back. Really push in, get a nice big stretch. And we'll take that to the other side. This time right foot stays, the left leg lifts. Open the hip by bending the knee. Try to stay square in the shoulders here, still grounding down in all 10 fingers. Lifting the knee high, one more round of breath. And then exhale, step your foot all the way through, coming into low lunge on the other side. Drop your back knee, lift the arms up into the sky, and again, option to stay here, or maybe you interlace your fingers, maybe even the funky way, and open your chest. Again, think of another positive thing, not the same thing. Another thing you like about yourself. One more round of breath here. And then inhale, lift it back up. Hands come back to the mat. Exhale, right hand stays this time. Left arm opens up. Maybe you invite a smile. It's harder to feel down when you smile. Let's do one more round of breath here. And then exhale, both hands come back to the mat. Inhale, shine the chest forward and taking it back to downward facing dog. Exhale. Let's just do one more round of breath here. And then we'll be moving up into yogi squat. If that doesn't work for you, come into like a chair pose and you can step up one-legged and then the other, or you can hop up. I'm gonna do the hop option. Either way, meet us in a chair or squat or the yogi squat. Inhale the breath, lift the heels to prep, exhale, bend the knees, and maybe you hop it forward, settling right into your malasana pose. So if this doesn't work for you, you can be in a squat or you can be in a chair pose, feet closer together. Let's take one more round of breath here. Exhale, side out. And then standing all the way upright from here. Inhale, arms reach up into the sky. And exhale, hands come heart center, Namaste. Feet can stay out in the yogi squat. We'll be moving back to it. Or your chair pose. And let's just place one hand on our heart and then one hand on our chest. Maybe you bow your head. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Once more, big breath in, big breath out. You are strong and you are loved. Inhale, arms reach up, taking it back to the yogi squat. Exhale, sit the hips down, sink into it. Really pressing into your hands, pushing your elbows to open your knees up. Back is nice and tall. One more round of breath, and now moving right into our first strength move to crow pose. I invite you to place your hands on the mat. Start to lift your hips, adjust your feet so that they're pointing towards the back of your ankles. And then maybe you start to lift your knees up into your armpits. Maybe you rock your weight forward, and maybe you lift one foot and then the other. You are strong. You can practice any of these variations where you're just practicing the hold, the lean. One more round of breath, whatever you're in, and then you can either jump back or come into malasana and step back. We'll all meet in a plank on an exhale. Taking a round of breath here. Really firing up the core. Actively press your heels back towards the back of the mat. Draw the belly button in. One more round of breath. And then inhale, shift your weight forward, keep your elbows in, lower halfway down, chaturanga, untuck the toes, shine the chest forward as you drop your hips in upward facing dog, and exhale, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Tuck your core, lift it back. Take a round of breath here, and we'll continue with the flow. Left foot stays, right foot opens and lifts. Scorpion like your dog. One more round of breath here. And then we'll draw knee to nose 3 times. Exhale, draw it underneath, feel the crunch. And inhale, lift your knee back. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw it in and in. And now step your foot all the way through, back heel back and down 45 degrees to rise up into warrior 1. Arms reach up into the sky. And exhale, stay here. Grounding down in the front foot and the front heel. Front leg is moving towards 90, grounding down in the outer edge of the back foot. One more round of breath, and now take your left hand and gently bring it to your chest. Starting to open the right arm even more. Exalted warrior. Maybe you close your eyes. Maybe you smile. Inviting some self-love. One more round of breath here. Exhale, side out. Inhale, both arms reach up, and now we'll open up into star pose. Starting to turn the toes out, heels in, standing nice and tall. Inhale the breath, and then exhale, fold it forward. Now you can keep your toes out, or you can straighten them towards the long edge of the mat if that feels better. Wide-legged forward fold. Now here I invite you to cross your elbows, maybe just hang out. And feel the decompression in the upper back. Right, so a lot of heart openers are actually like back bends. And so back bends are a misnomer because you think you're trying to bend into your low back when really it's a lot of the chest opening. So decompressing the other side of our heart center space. Let's do one more round of breath. Exhale. Exhale, side out. Let your hands come back to the mat. Left hand right underneath. Right arm opens up, invite a twist. Inhale. Exhale, take it back down, and then take it to the other side. Inhale. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, rise all the way up. And now turn your heels back in, toes out. And exhale, squat it down, Devyasana, goddess pose. And so here, hands heart center, or you can place one on top of the other. I invite you to close your eyes. So this is an equal strength and compassion pose. Take one more round of breath here. And then inhale, arms lift up, and we'll take it back to our warrior one. Take your back hand, swing it all the way through as you adjust everything back towards the top of your mat. And exhale, hands come to the mat, and take it back to your plank pose. Move through your flow. Chaturanga, and upward facing dog, downward facing dog on an exhale. Take a round of breath. And we'll do that all on the other side. This time, right foot stays, left leg opens up. Lifting high into the sky. One more round of breath, and then we'll do some knee to nose. Exhale, draw it underneath, tuck. And inhale, lift your knee back out. Exhale, twice more. Inhale. Exhale, tuck, 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 and step it all the way through. Back heel back and down, 45. Lift it up. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana uno. Or Virabhadrasana un. In French. One more round of breath here. And now take your right hand, gently place it on your chest, and start to lean and open your chest. Thinking positive thoughts here about yourself. Where do you need to practice a little more self-compassion? Last round of breath. Side out. Inhale, arms reach back up, and we'll open it up back into star pose. I'll turn, so I'm facing you. And exhale, fold it forward. Wide-legged forward fold. Now you can grab your ankles, your hands can be in line with your feet underneath. Whatever feels good. Maybe you nod and shake your head. Let's just do one more round of breath here. And then rising all the way back up. Inhale, arms reach up as the heels come in, toes out. Exhale, squat it down. Devyasana, goddess pose. Hand on your heart. Take one more round of breath here. And then let your hands come to your knees. Inhale, open your chest, and now dip your left shoulder in. Nice big stretch. Inhale, bring it back and take it to the other side. Exhale. Once more. Side out. Inhale, bring it back center and lift it all the way up, and we'll take it back to our warrior one. Swing the back hand around, left foot is in front. Warrior one. And exhale, hands come heart center. Take it back to your plank. Exhale. Shift your weight forward on an inhale. Halfway lift or lower, not lift. And drop the hips, shine your heart center forward, upward facing dog. We'll meet in downward facing dog on an exhale. Once more here. And then we'll jump up to the tops of our mat. Exhale. Coming into Malasana, lift your heels to prep on an inhale, bend your knees, and exhale, hop it forward, sit it down, Malasana pose. Take a round of breath here. Exhale, side out. And now standing all the way up. Inhale, arms reach up into the sky. And exhale, bring your hands back, heart center. Take a round of breath here. And now ground down in the right foot, and inhale, left knee comes up. Standing staff. And now take that same side hand, grab your ankle and start to bring it around to come into a quad stretch. If you want, you can place your hand on your heart. One more round of breath here. And then with control, release, bring it back to standing staff. And exhale, set it down, and we'll take it to the other side. Other leg lifts up. And then same side hand comes down, grabs the leg and draws the knees back together. Catch your breath. Maybe you stare about 3 feet in front of you. Last round of breath here. And then with control, bring it back, standing stop. And exhale, set it down. We'll do one more little flow and one final balance before bringing it back to our mat. Inhale, arms reach up, open your legs back to their yogi squat, and exhale, sit it down, Malasana pose. Option to stay here or be in your half squat or chair, or option to practice crow again. Maybe you bring your hands to the mat, adjust your feet so they're right behind your wrists, not your elbows. Bring the knees into the armpits, start to lean forward, and now you can stay here and just practice lifting one or the other, or you can practice lifting both. You are strong and capable wherever you are at. One more round of breath, and again, option to jump back or step back, exhale, find your way back to plank wherever you are at. Inhale, shift your weight forward, halfway lower. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana and Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take one round of breath here, and then we'll add on to the flow that we were doing. Inhale, right leg lifts, open it up. Exhale, side out. If you want to flip your dog into a wild thing, you can. Just for kicks and giggles. Just for a moment, if you're there, come back into three-legged dog. And exhale, draw your foot all the way through. Virabhadrasana 1, back heel back and down, 45. Lift it up and exalt your warrior. Drop your left hand to your chest. Open your heart. One more round of breath. And then inhale, swing your arms back up and open it out, wide-legged forward fold. Exhale, hinge from the waist. Inhale, halfway lift. And now we'll be sitting towards the back of our mat. Exhale. Option to stay here or option to sink all the way down, turning your front toes up for Skandasana pose. Maybe you even lift your hands. And again, maybe you bring one to heart center. It doesn't matter which one, just whichever one feels better to you. Maybe you open your palm, trying to receive some love. One more round of breath. And then bring it back up and see if you can't push into that leg to lift it all the way back up. And heels in, toes out, goddess pose, squat it down, Devyasana, hands at heart center. Now you can stay here or option to spice it up, lift the heels. Maybe you close your eyes to really challenge your balance. One more round of breath. And then heels down, inhale, arms swing up and take your back hand, swing it all the way through, warrior 1, and we'll be coming into standing splits. Exhale, hands come to the mat and lift the left leg into the sky. Take one round of breath here. And now we'll draw our leg in 3 times. Exhale, draw the leg in. Inhale, extend it back, lift with the glute, shine with the chest. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale, and now open your hips and your toes out towards the long edge of that ground down in your right hand. Open the left arm to the sky. Option to gaze down, up, or straight ahead. Take one more round of breath here. And then maybe if you want to add a little bit of a bind, you can bend your knee like we did earlier and find candy cane pose. One more round of breath. And then slowly release your grip. An option to step back or hop back one-legged into a one-legged plank. Bring both hands back to the mat, shine your chest forward, standing splits, and either step back or jump your right foot back. Inhale, shift your weight forward, halfway lower. Now drop both feet to the mat, shine your heart center. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big breath. Exhale, side out. And now we got that on the other side. Right foot stays, the left leg lifts. Open it up, scorpion leg your dog. And again, option to stay here. If you know wild thing is in your practice, you can flip your dog. I just really love this move. Just one round of breath. Otherwise, stay in 3-legged dog. Everyone meet back there. Next round of breath. And step it all the way through. Back heel back and down. Lift it up. Warrior 1. Exalt your warrior. Right hand to your chest. Open it up. side out. Hands come back and open and wide-legged forward fold. Again, I will turn around, hinge from the waist. Inhale the breath and side out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, and now bend into the other leg. It should be the other leg towards the back of your mat. Option to stay here, option to sink all the way down, coming onto your heel and finding Skandasana pose. Again, maybe you have your hand heart center. Maybe you open the other palm out to receive love, especially from yourself. Let's do one more round of breath here. Inhale, arms reach back up and see if you can't. Big push and heels in, squat it down, not Malasana, Devyasana, goddess pose. Hands at heart center. And again, maybe you lift the heels. Option to stay here. And then wherever you're at with the heels, place your hands on the insides of your legs and dip one shoulder in. Heels can be lifted for the added challenge. Bring it center and dip the other one in. One more round of breath. Bring it back center, heels down, arms reach up, and use your backhand to swing you all the way through warrior one. And coming into that standing splits. Exhale, place your hands on the mat and lift your back leg, your right leg, into the sky. Staying on your fingertips to keep your chest open. One more round of breath, and then we'll draw our knee to our nose. Exhale, tuck, and inhale, really lift with the glute and the chest. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, and now option to stay here. Option to open your hip and your toes towards the long edge of the mat, grounding down in the left hand. Maybe you open your right arm to the sky. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Last night was a full moon, so I wanted to get some lunar poses in here. And again, for an added challenge, maybe you bend your knee, reach for your ankle or your foot, and find candy cane pose, like that quad stretch we did earlier. One more round of breath. If you fall, it's okay. You can always just come back and bring it back to your standing splits. Exhale, fold everything back down the mat, square it off. Inhale, and either step back or plant your hands and one-legged hop back. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, halfway lower both feet to the mat. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a big stretch here. Maybe it's your deepest downward facing dog yet. Big breath in, big breath out. Let something go. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, prep for Malasana. Jump it up and squat it down. Take a round of breath here. Exhale, side out. And standing all the way up. Inhale, arms reach up into the sky. And exhale, hands come back, heart center. Now we'll do one final balance pose before bringing it down to our mat. So I invite you to find balance in your feet. And we'll be taking our left leg up. And now slowly find your quad stretch. Same arm. And now you can stay here or coming into a dancer pose. Maybe you find your balance and maybe you start to lean your chest forward and then maybe you start to kick your leg back. I wanted to mix this up because I think I love dancing. I also taught dance for a little bit. And a lot of times you kind of just have to dance through the hard stuff, right? And so trying to learn how to find balance, strength through dance, self-compassion through dance, dancing through the hard moments of life and the good moments. One more round of breath and slowly bring it back and release. And we'll take it to the other side. Grounding down in the other foot. It's an added challenge right now doing this on grass. and start to find your standing stuff and slowly reach it back. And now maybe you stay here. Maybe you start to lean your chest forward. Maybe you start to kick back into your foot and your hand. So as you can see, I'm not a crazy, I can't do the crazy like grab it both and twist and right, everyone's yoga journey. This is one of those poses I feel like I should be able to do the Pinterest version, but I can't. And that's okay. Let's do one more round of breath here. I think it's about equal. Actually, I feel like I probably talked on the other side a little more. Let's do one more round. And with hopefully more control, exhale, release. Big breath in, big breath out. How can you practice some self-compassion? For me, that was a great moment, right? To let go of the ego, to know that my dancer pose doesn't look like the Instagram dancer pose, that I fell out of it, but that's okay. Hands at heart center, inviting some of that love back in as we start to close out our quick little ditty here. And we'll be coming onto our backs via chair pose. Last little strength here, bringing the feet together. Inhale, arms reach up and sit your hips down, Utkatasana. Hold here. And then maybe you bring your hands heart center in prayer. Maybe you find a little twist, left towards right. Maybe you bring it back center. Maybe you twist the other way. Last little heart opener here. Bring it back center. Arms sweep up and sit it all the way down. Exhale. Let's stretch it out. Nice long legs. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, bow it forward. Let's do one more round of breath here. And slowly roll it on up. Sitting up nice and tall. Just take a moment, do a little check-in. How does your body feel? How does your spirit feel? And we'll be coming onto our backs. Slowly finding your way there. If you need to adjust on your mat in any way. And bring the soles of your feet together. Lie your head down. And come into reclined butterfly pose. Now here I invite you to have either both hands on your heart, or one on your heart and one on your belly button. We'll just take a few moments of peace here. At least for me, the dogs have stopped barking and there's hardly any wind. I can barely hear the ocean, but I know it's there. Maybe you invite Ujjayi breath into your body, if that's in your practice. And maybe you think of something positive about yourself. Whether that's a mantra like, I am strong, I am capable. This flow was working on opening up the chest region, our heart center, and on a lot of balance and strength. Because sometimes that's what we need in life, right? To remind ourselves that we are strong. And whether that meant you could do, quote unquote, the poses or not. Maybe you at least tried, or maybe you just stayed right where you're at, and that's a different type of strength, knowing your boundaries and your limits and sticking to them. It's definitely something I need to work on. And let's take 3 more rounds of breath here. One more round of breath. If you are an reclined butterfly, I invite you to slowly let your hands come to the outsides of your legs and gently guide them back up together, knees together. Maybe you take a little supine twist if that feels good, dropping your knees off to one side or the other. Maybe you start to rock up. Maybe you do something else that wasn't in the practice. Just take a few more minutes for yourself here. As we start to come out of our Shavasana and start to find our way to a seat. Taking 2 more rounds of breath to get there. One more round of breath. Exhale, let it go. I know it's hard, but we can try. Let's do one more. Big breath in. Think of whatever that negative thought is. And exhale, let it out. Now think of that positive thought. Maybe you bring a smile to your face. Maybe you bring your hands heart center. The light in me loves the light in you. Thank you for letting me be a part of your practice, and I hope that you find some more ways to honor yourself and remember your own strength. Namaste.